Today I've invited our village administrator, Nick Owen, and our economic development director, Rowan to the library to talk to us more about affordable housing in Mount Horeb. And we have a couple questions for them. We're going to start out with asking, what is your favorite book?
You want to go first?
No, I'll defer to you.
Right. I would say I still go back to some of my childhood books. Are usually some of the favorites. Anything by Roald Dahl, or anything sort of a graphic novel that I get to read with my kids are some of my favorite books.
Nice. Thank you. And Nick, what is your favorite book?
I read a book recently called Flags of Our Father. It's about Iwo Jima landing and the posting of the flag and all the struggles they went through. It was just a really interesting, I guess, historical piece.
Nice.
To hear the background of it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, the reason we have you here today is we wanted to talk to you more about this partnership program that we're doing with you. We're going to be leading a discussion on affordable housing for our community. And I guess we wanted to hear from village administration why this topic is important and why now.
I think it's an important topic for us because, we don't know how many people it affects really. We have some ideas, we have, census tracts, but it's really more wide ranging than I think most people think of, especially in a relatively affluent suburb like Mount Horeb is. And I think why it's relevant now is, why not now? If we don't deal with it now, when are we going to deal with it? Mm-hmm. We've heard from our business owners that they have trouble keeping staff. One of the issues is the commute time. Mm-hmm. They can't find something in Mount Horeb that's reasonable enough for them to afford. So they have to commute from somewhere. It's another cost. Then they wind up going and finding a job somewhere else close to where they live. So mm-hmm. I think it's multi-purpose. We want to be a wide-ranging community, a diverse community, and starting with our housing options, mm-hmm. I think is a big part to solving those issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with what Nick said. I think if we're able to come together at this conversation coming up, and we also have started a housing task force to go through all of the different needs that are out there, some of the different processes that we might be able to change up in Mount Horeb so that we can have more housing of all different kinds. But affordable housing is extremely important, whether that's keeping some of our families and employees here in town, or it's attracting new people into town, or just even having, affordable for whether it's a young family, an individual by themselves, or a senior. So there's many different aspects of that.
Okay, thank you. Maybe we touched on this a little bit, but what does affordable housing mean to our village?
I think a lot of people would be surprised about what is considered affordable or workforce housing. A lot of the people that work for the village themselves, like a starting police officer or, a teacher at the school, fall into the workforce housing category or the low moderate income. It's not just like a homelessness issue. It's more of an affordability issue. Mm-hmm. And helping to serve some of the people that serve our residents, I think is a real important thing for Mount Horeb.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think just when you start to look at some of the true costs of homes in Dane County, homes in Mount Horeb, and that affordability factor is still very high. So thinking of people who are starting out or depending on their different professions, being able to get into what was considered a starter home is probably not affordable for them at this point. So trying to provide additional options through the village, I think, is really key.
Mm-hmm. And so this program that we're doing together, we're going to be having a panel discussion, and it's going to be more informational, followed by a public discussion. And what are you hoping to hear from the public?
And I think it would be, once we've gone through the panel, I think there'll be a lot of really good information and ideas. Mm-hmm. But getting public input is really important to us. so that we can hear specifically from people who live here and in our area. What are some of their ideas? What are their concerns? If they have any other ideas of other things they've seen or heard in other communities that have worked really well, that would be great to hear.
Yeah, I agree with what Rowan said. I think we want to know, the people's experiences. Everybody has different experience, different opinions. We want to get that feedback. What do they think could help us? What would they need? What would be beneficial to help them? Just a broad view of different opinions and thoughts.
Yeah. And then our last question is, what do you hope the public will learn from this program?
Well, I think definitely it will give everybody an opportunity just to learn what has happened so far in Dane County and Mount Horeb. And then also just sort of what are the trends that are happening now and what some of our panelists sort of see as what's coming up in the next couple of decades. And hopefully too, they'll also learn, what we can do now as a community to address that, so that our community can continue to thrive and grow.
Yeah, I think learning about how important it is to have a diverse housing mix in the community, having options for all different folks from, seniors, starter homes, millennials, traditional single family homes. Just how important it is for a community to have that diverse mix of housing options for people.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come and interview with us at the library. And we're looking forward to partnering with you and bringing this informational program to our community.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.